Binoculars. Using binoculars. A presentation by Jerry L. Bell on behalf of the Village Birders. Why use binoculars? The human eye is an amazing instrument, capable of picking out motion, color, and detail. Unfortunately, birds tend to be small, distant, or both, making them difficult to see with the naked eye. Can you see the bird in the tree? Hint, it's in the center. Binoculars can be a bird watcher's best friend, allowing you to see naked eye detail of small, distant subjects. Binocular parts. Binoculars are made of several different parts, starting from the bottom right, the barrel or body of the binocular, then the ocular lens, the focus wheel, eye cup, diopter adjustment, interpupillary hinge, objective lens. Eye cups. The image from each ocular lens should cover the full pupil of the eye, which means that it should be a fixed distance from the eye. Having the eye too close to the lens creates a shadow ring around the image. Eye cups are used to maintain this distance. Eye cups can adjust inward or outward to keep this distance whether or not you are wearing glasses. Use inward with glasses and outward without. There are 3 types of eye cups: rotating, telescoping, and folding. Interpupillary adjustment. The distance between the center of the eyes varies from person to person. The image coming in from each ocular lens should go directly into the center of each eye. If the pupils and ocular lenses are not aligned, the image will be doubled or twinned. Most binoculars have a stiff hinge between the barrels to adjust for these differences. Focusing. Most binoculars have a center-mounted wheel, or possibly a lever, that moves the ocular lens closer to or further from the objective lens to allow you to focus on close or distant objects. There's a balance between quickly making large focal adjustments, more easily done with focus levers, and fine, exact focal adjustments, more easily done with focus wheels. It's a good idea to pre-focus on an object, a tree branch, fence post, etc., that is about the same distance as the bird you wish to see. This allows you to more quickly focus on the bird. Diopter adjustments. Focusing perfectly for one eye may cause the other eye to see a slightly blurry image, as most people's eyes are not identical. This is especially true for people with monovision. Most binoculars have a diopter adjustment, a ribbed or knurled ring, on just one barrel. Closing the other eye, look through the barrel without a diopter adjustment and focus that image with the focus ring or lever. Without refocusing, look through the barrel with a diopter adjustment and use the diopter ring to bring that image into sharp focus. Magnification power. The power of binoculars is the factor of magnification you apply to the object. A 2-power or 2x device would make the subject appear twice as large. Most birdwatching is done with 8-power 8x or possibly 10-power 10x binoculars. This is the Goldilocks zone for magnification. 10-power binoculars make the subject appear 25% larger than 8-power, but can introduce a greater amount of blurring due to the minute shaking and movement we all have while holding binoculars. 6-power or less binoculars are handy to watch artists on stage, but essentially useless for watching birds. 12-power or greater binoculars are essentially useless for handheld use, as they require tripods or other steadying devices to provide a steady image. Magnification power. A view of a bird with 8-power magnification. The same view of a bird with 10-power magnification. There is more detail, but can be slightly blurred. Objective lens size. The second number in defining binoculars is the objective lens size, or aperture, which ranges from roughly 20 millimeters to 100 millimeters. Examples 8 by 42 or 10 by 35. The higher this number, the greater the amount of light being brought into the binoculars, and thus a larger piece of the world being viewed. Bigger objective lens sizes mean bigger binoculars, so a compromise between brightness and size needs to be made, with objective lens sizes like 35 and 42 being the Goldilocks zone for birdwatching. An objective lens size below 35 limits your view to such a small area that it becomes very difficult to find the little bird you're looking for in the big world. An objective lens size above 50 makes for bigger lenses and wider, longer barrels, making it more and more difficult to hold the binocular steady enough to see anything clearly. Angle of view and field of view. Angle of view and field of view are functions of the objective lens size and are two terms that use different numbers to measure essentially the same thing. The angle of view is the number of degrees describing the cone of light coming into the binoculars. The field of view is a measure of how wide the image you are seeing is, measured at 1,000 yards, or meters, distance. 10 power binoculars will generally have narrower angles of view and fields of view than 8 power. Preparing for use of binoculars in the field. The very first thing to do when using binoculars is to put the neck strap or shoulder harness over your head. Don't get excited to see the birds and drop your expensive binoculars. Set the eye cups to match whether or not you are wearing glasses. Adjust the interpupillary distance for your eyes. Do this the first time you use your binoculars or if they've been intentionally or accidentally adjusted by anybody else. Look through and focus the non-diopter barrel and then use the diopter adjustment on the other barrel. Again, do this the first time you use your binoculars or if they have been intentionally or accidentally adjusted by anybody else. Pre-focus the binoculars on something about as far away as you think the birds will be. Put the binoculars down. Using binoculars in the field. Use your ears first. Most birds are vocal, some amazingly so. Listening allows you to get an idea of where the birds are before you start to look. There is no use looking ahead of you at birds that are behind you. Using binoculars in the field. Use your naked eyes next. Look for movement, especially with your peripheral vision. Look for shapes and patterns, keeping in mind that too often leaves can look like small birds. Look for colors. Leaves are green or brown, where most birds are not green, but a few birds are green and many birds are brown. Using binoculars in the field. When you have spotted a bird, without moving your head or eyes, bring your binoculars to the line between your eyes and the bird. Perform fine focus to sharpen the image of the target bird. Look for details in the shape of the body, head, and beak, in the colors, and in the patterns of the feathers. Take your time and enjoy the view. End of presentation. Thank you for watching Binoculars using binoculars. This has been a Big Dummy presentation.